Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch My Hero Academia season 6 episode 17. I was so excited to sit right there and to be like, okay, I'm gonna watch 2 episodes of My Hero Academia, that's gonna be cool. Just like I have 2 hours to film, to watch 2 episodes of My Hero Academia, normally, and then I will go to my parents to have a big family lunch with everyone, so really I'm into that kind of mood, I'm into a good mood and all, and really when I prepared everything, I remembered the end of the previous episode and I was like, that's it, I'm done, like that's gonna be awful. Like if you didn't see my reactions and my thoughts about the previous episode, I'm gonna put the link into the eye for it and I'm gonna put the link also for the playlist that I made for My Hero Academia in case you want to rewatch everything from season 1, episode 1 to right now with all of the OVAs, all of the movies included. At the end of the previous episode, we had the reunion of the Todoroki family, except for Dabi, like, no, Dabi can't be there, like, no, he can't be there. But except for him, they are all there. And Andover is gonna face his kids, his ex-wife. Everything is okay, everything is gonna be okay, he's gonna face them, like, surely it's not gonna be emotional at all. Like, they're not gonna confront him with their feelings, with how he treated them, with the fact that some were not considered at all, some were really too pushed. His ex-wife is not gonna have things to say about really how she was mistreated, used to produce these babies. Like, at this point, it's really to produce them, and she was surely not considered at all. Everything is gonna be okay, everything is gonna be alright. With Andover also, he's into that redemption arc right now, so he's gonna be sorry. Like at the end of the previous episode, he cried. Andover cried. Everything is gonna be okay. And they're gonna talk about Toya, about the fact that Toya faked his death, so we're surely gonna see that, and we're gonna see how it happened. The master, was he already involved or not? Did he do that on his own? The fact that this kid suffered that much, was so in pain, was feeling so bad that he preferred to lie to his entire family, to fake his death, to disappear. And now he wants his revenge that bad against his dad, against his brother and all. It's not gonna be an emotional episode at all. It's not gonna be full of informations and reveals at all. I'm totally prepared for this episode. That's gonna be just an entertaining, exciting episode like I thought that it would be. No, I'm not prepared at all for this episode. At the end, I'm really like, no, you're not prepared. That's gonna be, I don't know what that's gonna be, but that's gonna be something. You know, it's something that you're not prepared for. I'm a little stressed now for this episode. You know, I was so excited and now I'm stressed as hell. I just made my makeup, you know, for my family lunch. I can't cry. I don't have the time also for that. Like really, I have just 2 hours. Maybe I'm just gonna watch 1 episode in fact today. If it's gonna be 1 episode like I'm suspecting that it's gonna be. I'm maybe not prepared. You know already the last episode when we had all of these reveals, the background of Ox, which was so awful, with his parents who were poor, who were not considering him at all, who were for the father always mad, for the mother always high. And when the father disappeared, what happened, and the fact that the commission took Ox and took also with that his identity, his real name, and they trained him to make him their hero. Like, I don't know how much we can consider that he was used right there by the commission they saw a kid who was all by himself in a position of weakness. Okay, they decided to take care of him, but at the same time to train him to become an hero because he wanted to, but they made him their hero also. Do you understand what I mean? You know that I have some issues with that society, how it's functioning, with some of the rules. So clearly right now I'm going to question also the situation with Ox. I talked about it again, you know, and I'm not so sure I'm okay with what they did to him, how they helped him, you know. So that was already bad, that was already something, and I didn't know that we would see it about Ox. Right there, I know that we're gonna see something about the Todoroki's family, and I know how emotional it can be, so I'm really gonna click, you know, play, being like, okay, maybe I just need to go for it. Yes, let's just go for it. Let's go for this episode. Remember that on my Patreon, if you want, you can have 4 episodes of advance. You're gonna have only 4 action parts. Since some weeks, you know, I'm making only 4 action parts for anime, so for My Hero Academia. 4 episodes of advance, 4 action part videos, full opacity, all of these advantages. You have them on my Patreon with the level 3, like that. And it's the best way to support me at Patreon if you want and if you can. And if you just want to support me without having all of these advantages, you have my crowdfunding right now. You have all of the links on the description. Let's go for this episode! A memory episode? It's better and worse than them confronting him. Provide a woman response. No love. I'm wondering, you know, when they were making babies, how it was.
かつては名家だった日暮家も今は青い人気ナンバー2ヒーローの地位と名誉そして持参金目当て
So you took advantage of the situation of this family.
断ることもできたはずだ家のために俺の妻になる
Yes, she did it for her family and she's clearly sad about it. She could have refused.
花が好きか
とても綺麗
レイお前大丈夫なんか
It's gonna be
大
a
丈夫じゃ
mix.
ない
Oh.
だから来たの一番辛いのはあなたじゃないしあの子を見なかったのはあなただけじゃないから
She's right. I'm with you, Ray. I already feel hate and love with this episode.
あいつは俺の親父だあの程度で死ねるような玉じゃねえそろそろ表に出てくる頃合いだ
You ruined that. The public, you know, for him.
お母さん、冬美ちゃん、夏くん、ショート、俺を見てくれ。地獄の底で。
Tears of blood! It's you.
言ってくれ。つまり、炎の耐性よりも氷結。寒さに適性のある体なんです。まあ、デザインじみたことはね、この個性自体、禁忌なんで、方がいいかと。ともかく、東也君にはなるべく個性を使わせないでください。なぜ
You were mad at him for that? You made him like that and you were mad at him?
ちょっとやけどするくらいなのにさ全然我慢できるのにさ俺の体のことは俺が一番よく分かってるでも冬美もトヤにボロボロなの心配冬美とには分かんねえよ心配したのに俺は決めてんだ俺はもう超えたいって思ってる火をつけたのはお父さんだ
That ambition.
ここじゃないあなたが子供に何を求めてるかトヤはもう知ってる
諦めさせるにはそれしかない。東也には超えられない。
Only one way? Making a new kid. So you forced her to make another kid after that? kids made with love, like really the act itself, you know, to make babies right there, it was not with love at all. It was clearly like I imagined. Oh, that's it. It was during a moment of madness, of anger that he made babies. After training him that much, you want him to be like the other ones.
学校の子はみんなヒーローになるってさ、わかるはずないだろ。俺はお父さんの子供なんだから言えないんだ。
I totally agree with him.
できないんだよ。
That poor kid, you made him think that he would be the top hero, your dream.
俺たちは失敗作だから相手にされない。すごいよな。いらない子を作って。何度も聞いたってば。たまには姉ちゃんのとこで行ったら。キくんまで俺をたしなめるのか。
No.
夏くん、わかるだろ。うちの女はみんなダメなんだ。
Or for you to consider a woman like that?
たまにはクラスメートと遊んでみたり。友達なんかいらない。世界違う。
At the same time, he's seeing women like his father is seeing women.
世界がたくさんあって選択肢は無数にあるの。
She tried to connect with you.
お父さんは何を知ってんだよ。ばあちゃんたちが貧乏をしてたからお母さんを売ったんだろ。お母さんはそうするしかなかったんだろ。だから俺が生まれたんだ。母さんも加担してんだよ。
You can't see that she's a victim right there? Ah yes, she truly accepted to be sold and then surely to be raped.
ようやく訪れたの変化とともにその炎は赤から青へと色を変えていた。
こいつ俺、これならお父さんもきっとびっくりするぞ。
You still wanted to make him proud.
と
make him see you.
お父さん、今度の休み、瀬本岳に来てよ。
やけど周囲から見られない箇所での訓練。
ボートにだって到達できるかどうか。オールマイトにも負けないかもね。俺を作ってよかったって思うから。
なぜ投与を止めなかったね。頼んだはずだ。
お母さんいじめないで。
終わってていいよ。関係ない話だ。
Blamed her for what?
私じゃ止められない。
お前がやれ。俺は見ない。
He just wanted to impress you. He knows that the only reason why he was born is to impress you.
何が見えてるの。
It's just what he's trying to do. You created that. Fuck you.
あなたは瀬本岳に行かなかった。
俺が行けばあの子の感情に薪をくべてしまうだけだと。いや。
私もそうだった。
That's why. The fire.
あれは熱かったな。まあ自業自得だよな。
親を殺してしまったことで後に引けなくなっていた。ショートに傾倒するほかなくなっていた。
And you didn't even learn from that mistake from his death.
夏らで作ることしかしてこなかった。
I'm not gonna tell you all of that.
始めたことで。でも俺がぶん殴ってトーヤ兄と向かい合わせてやれてたからダビは生まれてなくて。
責任はあなただけのものじゃない。心が砕けても。
Bonjour, not, but clearly he has a majority of it, no?
僕がうちのヒーローになってくれたのよ。
前からもう戦えねえと思った。俺がやるしかねえって思ってた。泣き終わったら立てよ。みんなで東屋にを取りに行こう。
Together.
すみませんの家族旅行、俺らもご一緒してよろしいですかね。
ベストジーニスト。
Are you sure that it's the right moment to intervene?
風向きの悪さを察したヒーローたちが今も続々と辞職中。ヒーローを信じきれなくなった一般市民が 武器を手に取りヴィランと戦うことで、奥さんのおっしゃった通りあなたは戦う他に道はありません。そして俺たちの責任はナンバーワンだけのものじゃない、ご家庭だけで占有しないでいただきたい。てなわけでここからはトップ3のチームアップです。
私がもとよりこう次の中ベットした。
俺らとご家族、少しは肩も軽くなって立って歩ける気しません？
東野に止めるまでだから。
I understand that you needed that for them to say that. I'm not sure I agree with everything they did. Let's talk about it in real.
ワン・フォー・オールって何なんですかね？ワン・フォー・オール、我々はそれの正体を知らなきゃいけません。
個別通信失礼します。シガラキは僕を狙ってる可能性があります。
デク
なんで俺がつけてたんだ。チワス
大爆殺しダイナマイト。
She got dynamite.
君と話したいんだけど、今はオールマイト
You
が
can try.
してくれと。オールマイトが
Oh, that's it. They're gonna connect all of the dots.
一体バクオールとはなんだ。艦中少年の中、ワン・フォー・オールの中の私を、君は今先代たちと話している。
That's what I thought, that he's blocked with them. He's with them. Maybe he's training with them now. Mind trick. Before beginning, I want to say that a lot of you are gonna be mad at me. I know it. I already know it in advance. I can already predict it. That some people are gonna be mad at me because I'm mad at Andover. I know already that some of you are gonna be like, oh, that's it, we saw during 2 or 3 entire seasons, All Might, Andover, building, really beginning and really now being fully into that redemption arc. You saw him evolving, you were going on his side, and oh, how can you be so mad at him right now? Guys, you have to understand me, how I'm functioning. You have to understand that I'm an hypersensitive person. I was diagnosed like that, meaning that I don't have little emotions, I have only big emotions. When I'm sad, I'm really sad, I have the emotion that it's the end of everything. When I'm mad, I'm really mad, I want to burn people and to insult all of their family. When I'm really glad, you know, excited, like it's fireworks into my head, it's amazing. And right now, the fact that we saw all of this background with Andover from his first marriage to making all of the different kids, how it ended for Toya and everything else, it was everything that I imagined. Like, remember during the first seasons when I was so mad at Andover, it's because of the fact that all of what happened during this episode, all of these memories, I already had them on mind. I already imagined everything. And to just have the confirmation of it and to see it truly, and after that to have them into the present saying to Andover, you're not responsible for that, we are, I mean, you're not fully responsible for that, we are also. I'm really like, no, you can't say that. Like, for me, I can't jump from one emotion to another. I can't see all of that and be so mad at Andover and really to be back at how I was during the first seasons with this character, and then to jump again into the redemption arc train, you know, and to be like, okay, they are trying to make him feel a little better about himself, and no matter what, if they feel guilty about the situation, they are right to say it, and it's gonna help him. And maybe that's why they want to say it to him right now, because he's desperate and clearly he needs to have some support. And all of the Todoroki's family and Ox and Beast Genius, they understood that also, and that's why they are saying all of that to him. We are with you, we are sharing the responsibility of what happened to the family, what happened with this fight, we are sharing the responsibility with you. Like, believe me, I understand all of that. I understand that Andover changed, I understand that now he's into that redemption arc, I understand that right there he was desperate, he needed some support and he needed for them to say all of that. I understand that maybe they feel guilty also a little about what happened, maybe, you know, it's not maybe, I know, by experience, you know, I know that when something traumatic happened to you, you feel guilty after that because you felt like maybe you should have reacted differently, you could have defended yourself better and all. It's false, totally wrong, and it's so bad to think that when you're into the position of being a victim during a traumatic experience, your body and your mind, in fact, are protecting you by paralyzing you, in fact, and by paralyzing your emotions and paralyzing your body, so you're not gonna feel all of the pain that maybe you would have felt if it was different. So, in fact, no, it's not like that it's happening, you know, psychologically speaking, it's not like that it's happening during one precise, you know, traumatic experience. I'm saying that because I'm really thinking about people who had a traumatic experience into their lives and watched this episode, and maybe they felt it bad, this episode, you know, they felt like, okay, the person who did that to them was responsible, you know, at 90%, but they were also a little responsible because they let it happen or something like that. No, or they provoked it, or they could have defended themselves better and all. No, we're not changing the position, you know, of who is the victim. We're not gonna be like the victim provoked it. We're not gonna be like the victim should have known, you know, how to defend themselves better. No, I'm never gonna accept that speech, you know, that way of thinking and all. Never, okay? And really, right there, I know that it was not one precise traumatic experience, it was entire lives and all. But I'm not accepting it neither. Like, even if I see why the other kids, they feel like they could have intervened and protect their siblings, Toya, like Shoto. I understand why the mother, she could be like, maybe I could have escaped and all of that. But if during this moment you didn't do it, it's because you didn't feel safe enough, you didn't feel strong enough, and it's totally logical with what was happening. She was sold by her family to hand over for a forced marriage, not a loved one, to make babies, you know, with original quirks. She was sold by her family. Like, just that, you have to consider the childhood that she had with her family, the lack of respect, of dignity, or, you know, that she had from her family and to herself, to be sold like that to someone. She did it still for the honor of her family, so clearly she was not gonna escape and run away just like that after the marriage. Maybe she had some hope also that the marriage maybe could be not that bad. She made kids with him only for him to use them for their quirks. She knew it, that she was not making kids, you know, by love. She was making kids because he wanted them as projects, you know, and all. She felt guilty also, for sure. That I totally understand it, because of what he was doing with these kids. When it was not succeeding, he wanted other kids, and clearly we could see the rage, the anger that he had into his eyes. So please, imagine that when they were making babies, let's say it, when they were having sex together, it was not an act of love. The guy was angry, mad at her, against the kids, only considering his projects, you know, his ambition. Try to imagine the moment itself. It was a rape. Clearly she was not going with it willingly, you know, she was not offering herself to him willingly, like that was a pleasure party or anything like that. So already I already imagined all of that, and that's why I was so mad at Andover, and I couldn't even imagine an arc of redemption or anything like that. You made me think that he could have a redemption arc. I began, you know, I was into it and all, but to have all of these memories, so all of the confirmation of what I suspected, you can't ask me to jump again into the redemption arc train just after showing me that again, confirming me all of that. And for sure, all of the part with the kids, how he was with Toya, the fact that, okay, he trained him a lot when he knew, you know, that, when he learned that for Toya it was too much for his body and he gave up on Toya to go with another kid. You can be like, oh, in fact, he protected Toya, he didn't want for Toya to die. Oh, thank you! He didn't want for a kid to die. We have to thank him for that. We have to be glad that he didn't want that. No matter what, he gave up on that kid. On that kid, he placed all of his hopes, all of his dreams. He made that kid feel like he would be the next top hero. He made him think all of that, feel like he was really the project, the dream of his life, to just give up on him just after that. For sure, Toya would evolve like that. For sure, Toya would feel like it's unfair. For sure, Toya would be mad at Shoto. For sure, Toya would try to still train on his own and impress his dad, for his dad to admire him, for his dad to think that he didn't make a mistake by just having him, you know, like by just creating him. Like, Toya wanted to prove to his dad that he was not born for nothing, that it was worth it to create him, to make him alive, you know, for him to exist. Can you imagine for a kid of his age to think that about himself and what he has to do for his dad to consider him and to not give up on him, to not see him as a failure? After that, Toya said it himself. He understood that he shouldn't be mad at Shoto, you know, and he understood still the situation, but he still wanted to impress his father for hand over to blame Rei, you know, the mother, for Toya continuing to train. Like, no, you can't blame yourself and you're going to be violent with her. It was not enough. Like, clearly it was not the first time that he was violent with her. Again, we can imagine the violence physically, psychologically that she had coming from Andover each time that he was a little mad at himself, at his kids, you know, for a training not going right, for one of them acting like he didn't want to. And again, imagine all of the times that they were making babies, the anger that he was feeling and all, how it happened during the sexual moment. See, I can't see all of that, think about all of that, and just after that, accept for them to say, we were also responsible, you were not the only one to hand over. They were just kids. As adults now, they can be like, okay, if I was an adult, if it was happening right now, I wouldn't do the same. But as a kid who didn't have any experience with life, who didn't have any strength to defend themselves and all, they couldn't do something else, in fact, really. And her, she was weak, she was all by herself, with a family who sought her, she was without friends, she was with kids that she was trying to protect and to connect with, but that she couldn't. She went crazy because of all of that. She could have run away. To go where? With Andover, the number 2 top hero, following her to continue with her project, his projects, you know? The only thing that she could have done is to kill herself, and she didn't do it because maybe a part of her was like, maybe I can still protect them, their kid, you know, the kid. I'm so mad. So even if I understand that themselves, they can feel guilty, they are wrong to feel guilty because it's just victims talking and it's wrong. But they are saying he's feeling better because of it. After that, Ox and Best Jeanist intervening and saying that they are sharing the responsibility of what happened with Andover, for that I'm okay with it and I agree with you know, the responsibility being shared right there. For that I agree, for that I'm okay, I'm not even talking about it, it's not that important. For sure we have all of the situation at the end, you know, with the question about 1 for all, for 1, deku! Our might is with deku right now! Clearly we're gonna have the reveal about all of that soon. I imagined that maybe, you know, Deku is not awake, maybe because he's blocked into his mind with the ones who had the quilt before him. Like, I already imagined something like that. We had almost a confirmation of it right there. For Bakugo to be like that, I love it so much. But really, that episode was deep. I don't think that I cried because, in fact, I was in pain and so mad that I couldn't, like... Maybe I cried a little. I have the impression that I cried a little. You know, I can feel, you know, that it's a little wet. So maybe I cried a little. But I was clearly more mad than anything else. And again, I know that because of everything that I just said right there, I'm gonna have some people in the comments being like, you don't understand, Andover he changed, he's so great, he's the number 2 hero and all, right now is number 1. I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that right now he's into a redemption arc. I'm not denying that he's the best hero right now. I'm not denying that myself, I believe and I'm following him into that redemption arc. I'm just saying that these memories, the confirmation of all of what I imagined about what he made to this family, brought me back to my hate and anger against this character during the first seasons, and I can't jump from one emotion to another. I'm not made like that. Understand that, don't understand that, I don't care. I just explained to you a lot how I was feeling and why I was feeling like that. Okay, I'm gonna need to hurry if I want to watch one other episode before going to my family lunch. Clearly I was such into a good mood, so excited and all before this episode. Really, this episode calmed me. Okay, it's all for you for this video. If you want to see my reactions and my thoughts to the 4 next episodes, you have my Patreon for that, and you're gonna have everything in 4 reaction parts. Also for this episode, you know, a 4 reaction part for this episode with full opacity. It's on my Patreon with the level 3. It's all for you for this video, and it's all for me for now. So bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Great.